Now, as most of you guys know, because of COVID, education is changing. Education, we see it every single day. Education is changing. Now our children are doing a lot more virtual learning, which has changed it. It's changing the way people are educating our children, what type of things that we need to put in place to educate our children. All of that is brand spanking new. Now, I remember last year when I increased and went from the entrepreneur game and expanded to three other games, the Spanish, the Entrepreneur, and the Rise of the Returning Citizen. It was great. It was incredible. No game had ever done that. It was breaking new ground. At that time, I was thinking about doing a website app for a game app for it, but I just didn't feel like it was time. And I am so glad that I didn't do it. I'm so glad I didn't rush to put something out just to put it out, because now is the time. Now is the time that the world is looking for something different, looking for something new. So what we're doing in the entrepreneur game is we're going web based. We're going web based. Now you have web based and you have mobile, which is your ISO and your Android phone. So we're not going to an app. So don't get me wrong. So there's some incredible apps that Kula's just got inside the app store. We're not going to an app. We're going to be a web based program, which is any more incredible because we are going into a web based educational curriculum that's being added to the entrepreneur game. So let me break that down to you to tell you how it is. All right, so we're taking the entrepreneur game and we're combining it with a real life curriculum for students, right? So it's not enough. Now, right now, the game itself is going to teach entrepreneurship. It's going to teach you entrepreneurship. It's going to give you the language. It's going to give you the foresight, the idea. It's going to give you the imagination. Not, that's incredible within itself. But what we're going to do is we're adding a real educational curriculum to it. So this is why I say that, across America in high schools, there's a number of high schools that have been, there are a number of schools that have lost their accreditation because our children, for some reason, are not scoring high enough on their educational aptitude test. So that means that you have places that have CTE, which is Korean Technical Education, and in Virginia we have something called SOLs, which is your standards of learning. And children are failing this. And across in different states, I was looking it up. There's different names for these tests, but basically they're the basic educational information tests that children need, that the schools have deemed that children need in order to move on and have some sort of semblance of a productive life in our society. So that means some basic education, some basic math skills, reading comprehension skills, vocabulary skills. We're talking about overall, critical thinking skills and decision making skills. These are the things that children need to pass. The schools are trying to get children to pass. So now I'm coming in with an entrepreneur game that's going to change lives no matter what because of the perspective. But now we've added another component, which is an educational curriculum, which speaks to these exact things that I'm talking about. So it's adding CTE, it's adding SOL, it's adding STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Is adding WISE education to it, women in science and engineering. What we're doing is we're combining these two into the game. So not only is it going to show you how to be an entrepreneur and prepare you for entrepreneurship, but now it's also going to help our children learn the basic educational skills that they need in order to graduate high school, in order to not just graduate, because sometimes there are some schools that are pushing kids along, which is a shame, but it's going to give our children an entrepreneurial basis for life and an educational basis for life. So I mean, we are just changing the game with this. We're incentivizing it, and the idea is so large. So how do we do this? How am I doing this? The way I'm doing it is because most of you have the game. So as you go around the board, there are a couple of decks of cards, and once you land on it, you pick a card, and then there's a problem or a situation that you have to solve or a decision that you have to make. So now what we're doing is we're incorporating into those vocabulary. We're incorporating math skills. We're incorporating other things that will get higher test scores that will make the graduates more competent. Basically we're making the schools love us. We're cornering the market on this education because we're making the schools love us. We're giving them the basics that the schools are committed to giving them. We're helping the teachers because we're doing so. We're giving them the information. We're giving information and not taking their place, but giving them a break because we're giving the information in a way, in a game form. And this is one thing less that they have to do. So we are adding on to what they're doing. So the teachers are going to love us. The schools are going to love us because the test scores are going to go up. They're going to be producing children that can stand on their own once they graduate. And let's say you get them in the ninth grade. Once they come in the ninth grade, I haven't gone to the lower decks. I'm just dealing with high school at the moment for this video. But once you get into the ninth grade and you've been doing this for 4 years, just imagine the amount of information that you have and the preparation that you have. So we're teaching entrepreneurship and we're improving educational aptitude. And we're doing this by incentivizing the game as well. So first of all, when you go into schools, the schools have a number of curriculums, and the children basically get to pick from the curriculums what type of things that they're going to do. So because we have a game, automatically it's going to be easy for us to get picked because it's entrepreneurship, but it's in the form of a game. It's a real web-based game, just like the board game is going to be online in 3D. The game is going to be 3D. I could tell you how the user interface looks, but we'll save that for later. So it's a 3D game that you actually play online. And inside the game, you have a certain number of, situations that you have. So for example, you'll have a card that may say, draw a logo for your business and in a certain amount of time, and, don't leave anything out, and you get this amount of money from the game. So the entrepreneurial aspect is there, but then we'll also have other cards and portions of that may say, tell us what branding is, or tell us what a budget is, so that they can get the other portion of basic things that they need. And it's incentivized because once they do that, they win extra money inside the game, which helps them win the game. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So, but the result is that it's going to teach entrepreneurship. It's going to increase the educational acumen of the students. It's going to cause test scores to go higher. It's going to bring out more competent graduates, and it's going to make them love us. We are really preparing children for life in all of its aspects. So now the program features of itself, the entrepreneurial game as a virtual game, the features are entrepreneurial learning, of course. We're teaching entrepreneurship. That is the basis of what we do. Math, reading comprehension, vocabulary improvement, we're teaching that, but we're teaching that on a hands-on, activity-based level. So that means it's not just about reciting what something means. It's the fact that you get to find out what it means, recite what it means, but you get to put it into actual terms while you're playing the game. So not only do you get to understand what a budget is, but you get to learn how to create a budget and how to stick to your budget inside the game. So practical information, which will make the information stick in their head once they do it. So when they get these tests at the end of the year, they'll say, okay, I understand a budget. I know what a budget is, and they'll be able to write it down. They'll be able to tell you and verbalize what a budget is. And what we're doing is we're using the words that educators use. The way we're getting this information is straight from educators, straight from the CTE test, the SOL test, the STEM-based learning, straight from the teachers themselves when they say, this is what I need my students to know by the end of the year. This is what I'm teaching them. We're able to incorporate that inside the game and have them do it, have them live it, have them play it over and over and over. Part of this game includes an ambassador program. Now, the ambassador program is an incredible program. So, for example, you'll have a game where everybody's online, and you may have 18 students playing 3 different games because, as you know, the game takes up to 6 people. So you'll have 3 different rooms going with games going in them. We'll have ambassadors that do a number of things. Number one, they're inside as mentors inside those games. So they're able to answer questions, they're able to interject, they're able to make sure that everybody stays on track inside the game. Second thing that they're able to do is they're able to help with the game if there's any questions, but also they're able to be a liaison between the company entrepreneur game, the students, and the school. what that does is, as far as the students, it gives the students someone there that's going to help them, somebody that they can rely on, which is going to bring up their confidence. With the teachers, it's going to show the teachers what we're doing and get their confidence, but also the ambassadors are a liaison. They're telling us what the teacher and what the administrators are saying as far as how the students are responding to the game, how the test scores are going. So we can take that information from them and constantly improve the game. So we have it inside track to always make sure that anything that the teachers need, the educators need, the school administrators need, we can put it inside the game. So we'll always be up to date. We'll always be up to date, which is great. Um, so it's incentive-based learning. So let me share something with you. I have a person here that I work with in Virginia. He's part of Richmond Public Schools. He's not in Richmond Public Schools, but he has a program that he sells, an educational program, entrepreneur program actually, that he sells to Richmond Public School. They pay him $150,000 a year for this, and that's really on the low end to host this program. One of the things that he does that I'm going to mirror is he has incentive based. So he'll have a group of entrepreneurs who put together a program and say that if you stick with this program, at the end of the program, not only will we support you and have your business and put you out there and give you mentors, but we will give you $75 each toward your business, toward business financing, sort of, just toward your business that you can use for your business. The word won't come to me at the moment. So it's incentive based. So what we've done with the game is made it incentive based in a couple of different ways. Now we are going to have incentives. So for example, you play this game, we'll go into the schools for the entire semester, or the entire year, but right now I'm focusing on the semester from January to June of 2021. We go in there and we have this game 1 to 2 times a week. Well, ideally, it's going to be one time. Ideally, it would be twice a week that they get to play. Every time someone wins, the incentive is, I'm be honest with you, you're going to get $20. You win the game, you're going to get $20, right? So that's going to be the incentive to get the kids into the game, to get them attached to it and wanting to play it and understand. And I'm going to keep this going on because I think it's a good idea. But not only that, do we incentivize them with cash, but we also incentivize them with in-game cash. So for example, as you answer certain questions, like I was telling you, what is a budget, or how do you put together a budget, or it could be, anything that the SOL test or the CTE test needs them to learn. At the end of the game, they'll have a sort of a short quiz. Everybody who plays the game, you also have to fill out the quiz. If you fill out the quiz, that's going to give you in-game cash. Now, what the in-game cash does is one of two things. Either you can use that cash on your account so that the next time you play, you start off with more money than the game actually gives you, which makes it more competitive as far as people trying to win that game constantly. Or we actually have a website set up where we will provide business supplies. Could be paper, could be printers, could be anything that a business would need. The reason we're doing that is because you can use that in-game cash in our store to get supplies, school supplies, business supplies, whatever it is that you need without spending real money. So what we're doing is we're incentivizing them a couple of different ways in that. So with the cash, with the in-store cash, or the supplies, or use it for the next game. Remember, they want to win the game, and the games are ongoing every week. Of course, we're going to take care of the ambassadors as well. Now, at the end of the year, we're going to have what is called, for each one of these school districts, what is called the Dream Child Awards. It's something that I've had a vision for decades. And what the Dream Child Awards is think of an Oscar-type award, but for educational and entrepreneurial achievement, right? Basically, for educational and entrepreneurial achievement, we're going to show love to our children who are part of the program by allowing them to be part of these Dream Child Awards. Now, understand that in doing this, one of the things that's incredible is because it's online, because it's web-based, we don't just have to stay inside of our state. We can have them playing games from school systems from state to state. which we're promoting, besides promoting them getting to know other people, we're promoting interstate commerce. There's a lot of angles that I can't even tell you all about, but a lot of things that's coming from this. Also, that makes it so much easier for companies to buy in and sponsor trophies here and there, companies to really join into the efforts, which will happen as we go along the line. Because this, if you think about what we're doing here, we're changing the way education is taught. Entrepreneurship and education is taught.